think we're on. Hopefully we're on. Hopefully everybody can see us. Today you've got me, John, Steve as well, and we'll be interviewing Stuart here. So just kind of the regular format. Everybody, we're going to get to know Stuart a little bit better, why he's West Ham, etc. So Stuart, I'll kick it over to you with how did you get into West Ham? Just tell us a little bit about yourself, where you are, where you grew up, and why West Ham.
Yeah, well, I'm originally from Kent, down in Ashford in Kent, and I'm now in Birmingham, which is about 10 minutes away from the Hawthorns, so next to Slav. And it's a bit of an unconventional way how I got into West Ham. My family are Arsenal supporters. So, and when I was younger, my stepdad was a Chelsea supporter, and I didn't want to support any of those two teams. I wanted a bit of a rebellion, to be fair. And one day I opened up, when I was 5, I opened up a newspaper and I shut my eyes and I pointed, and it happened to end up on West Ham. It was in 1992, and we were second or third in the first division, which is the Championship now. And it's just stuck ever since, to be fair. I went to my first game when I was 5 against Oxford in 1992, and it ended up 5-3. And I turned around to my stepdad and I went, "Is it like this every week?" He went, "No, it's not like this every week." It's when Julian Dick scored two thunderbolts on that game.
Was that
a night game as well?
Yeah, was that the away game at Oxford?
No, it's a home game. It was a home game.
I think I was at the away game because I'm originally from Swindon, so that's around the corner from me.
Oh, are you?
I think I was at that away game for Oxford, and it was some good battles down there.
Yeah, I think it's like 3-1, 3 or 4-1 at half time, and then they come back, and I think we just about got them at 5-3. I think it was.
So how much do you curse that day where you closed your eyes and pointed a finger at a paper? Changed your whole life?
No, yeah, it changed my life, really, to be fair. But no, love being a West Ham fan, West Ham family and everything, and never look back. Never look back.
That was an interesting time in the early 90s, of course, and I think I mentioned it on the show the other night. You know, we were lucky enough where we got to see and got to be in stadiums when they were still had stands in them. There was just a raucous atmosphere. Well, what are your fondest memories of looking back during those days, either at home or even some of the away grounds that you've gone to?
I didn't go to many games when I was younger, to be fair, but I could just. It's the anticipation when you get off to the tube station. So like the walk up, the smell, like the excitement when you get in, and then when you get in, bubbles getting some, and it's just a fantastic atmosphere, and everyone's friendly. And I used to go on my own when I was younger. When I was about 16, 17, I used to go up on my own. And used to meet a load of people up there, to be fair. I really enjoyed it.
Did you develop any kind of match day rituals or anything?
Not really. Just you go up, have a few pints first, and then try and miss the last train home. We always used to go in the bowling when it was there. Yeah. But yeah, have very fond memories.
That was our routine. I took my wife a few years ago, the season before our last season at Upton Park, just to make sure that she got a game in over there. She's not the biggest sports fan or nothing, but made sure to take her in the bowling, and everybody was singing and going nuts, and just, you know, you get that sense when you walk in there, the sticky floors and just that smell, and there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it.
I can always remember the smell. Always remember the smell. Yeah. But my partner now loves football, but she's a Man United fan.
Oh dear.
And she used to be a season ticket holder as well at Man United, so I can't even really get her to change.
Oh dear, no.
She must be having a bit of a rough year.
Yes, definitely.
A rough few years. I suppose that's kind of the opposite of us, really. You know, we're so used to losing that when we win, it's so high. But to go from you know, it's the reverse. A team that was perpetually successful to seeing a little bit of a challenge has got to be.
It's nice now. It's nice now, especially last year when we done them. I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, of course, the final game at the Boleyn. You didn't happen to watch that together, did you?
No. We was living apart then, but she did actually manage. She knew someone who was DJing there at the Upton Park, and she did manage to get us a Dimitri Payet signed shirt, which I don't know where it is now. I think I threw it away.
That's a bit harsh, isn't it?
Yeah. It's around somewhere, knocking around somewhere, I think.
Tell us how you really feel about him.
Yeah. I used to idolise Payet when he was at West Ham. Being about a 29, 30-year-old man idolising a football player, and then he goes and breaks your heart.
He was something special. It was a cut above, I think, anybody that I'd ever seen in a West Ham shirt. I mean, maybe Di Canio was close during the mid '90s, but
I think Di Canio was close. But I think gifted wise, he was probably the best player that I've seen.
One off, wasn't he?
Yeah. How on earth we got him to West Ham?
Yeah.
If he didn't have potential tantrums, but we'd never have got him.
That's true enough.
Yeah.
Who was your favorite player growing up?
Favorite player? I'm a goalkeeper originally, so Ludo McCloskey was my favorite when growing up, and then going to Shaka, and then I used to love Rob Green as well. And so I've always been a goalkeeper person, to be fair. And Payet was probably my favourite player, for outfield player for all the years. But traditionally going back, Ludo and Shaka was my favourite.
I loved Shaka as a goalkeeper. I thought he was great.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
He had a good length to him. He got down pretty well for a
big bloke.
Yeah. He was a quality keeper. Ludo was. I think he'll always be a fan favourite. One of these, a bit of everything.
Yeah.
But
see, I'm slightly older. I remember.
Do you remember Phil Parks?
I remember. Yeah. And I remember the likes of. I've always said that my favourite player is Alan Devonshire. You know, our old.
Yes. It's slightly a bit before my time.
I'm feeling old now.
Yeah, it's about 86-ish and a little bit before that. 86 before that.
Steve, how big was that Phil Parks signing back then? Because he was the most expensive keeper in history, wasn't he? Transfer history at that point.
I believe so. At the time, yeah. It was rather huge, wasn't
it? Yeah. I got to meet him about a year ago as well. Now he's still quite massive, to be fair. Yeah, because I think the whole of the 1980 football team were they come up to Birmingham for a Comic-Con show,
right?
And there's only about one or two people that were missing. Got to have the photo with the whole team, and that was good meeting all the players.
That was a bit special, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, to be fair, there's a couple of. I think who else? Jeff Hurst was there as well. Jeff Hurst.
Right.
Yeah, so that was a good memory, to be fair.
What would you say your favourite matches you've ever been to?
My favourite match. To be fair, the first one that I ever went to was. I can't quite remember it, but I can remember bits of it. But and also, I'm lucky enough. I went to the Arsenal away game, the last one we won at Highbury, and the first one at the Emirates. I was at the away game as well for both of those. And funny enough, I was in the Arsenal end.
For both of them?
Because both of them, yeah. Because some of my family are Arsenal season ticket holders, and I was with them. And I think the people around them knew that I was a West Ham fan. And they never let me go back for at least about 5 or 6 years.
So Stuart, you're telling me, maybe this sums Arsenal up right there. Season ticket holders at Arsenal gave you tickets to the first game at their new stadium and the last one at Highbury.
No, it was the first time that they lost. Yeah, the first time that they lost at the new stadium.
That's right.
First time they lost, and then the first time and the last time they lost was both West Ham, and I was in both of those games. Both of those games.
For some reason, I was thinking it was the first game of the last, but I do. Yeah, that was. Well, we own North London now, right? I mean, that's
definitely.
Arsenal and Spurs. We've done that too.
I weren't able to get a ticket for the Tottenham game. So.
Have you been to any games this season, or are you planning on getting over there for any?
I tried to get to, but I haven't been to some since the first time we was in the Olympic Stadium. I went to about the first 6 or 7 games, but then it got a little bit more tougher for me to come back because I moved up to Birmingham. Then it's got just a little bit tougher for me to get down. And takes a lot of time.
Do you say you've been to the Olympic Stadium already, or no?
Yeah. I went to about the first 6 or 7 home games. I went to both of the Europa League games, and then the first league game, and then about 3 or 4 more after that, I think.
Yeah. So both of you would be. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'd like to go back again because hearing people how much it's changed a bit, how they're trying to improve it. So. Yeah, so I've got a bit of a. It's not like I don't want to go back again. It put me off a little bit the first couple of games. Because it was like you're quite far away, and it wasn't what it was at Upton Park.
Not at all, no.
No.
And that's always been a problem. It's such a long walk from the station up to the ground, and a lot of it is sort of no man's land that you're walking through.
Yeah.
And whilst they have done some building since then, and there's some residential flats gone up, and there's some new building going on now. A big lump of the like no man's land when you walk up from Stratford up there. All that's fenced off now, and there's cranes and stuff in there. So I don't know what they're building up there at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know what it's like after the game because it was quite. It's a lot. It took a long time to get back to the train station.
Oh yeah, no, that's still hideous, and you got these.
Is that still? Is there still stop and go signs there?
Oh, yeah, yeah. That can be.
I don't think. Go on.
You can imagine when it's raining, when it's cold, when we've been thumped. Everybody's got the ump. And there's all these people turning their lollipops around, saying, "Stop! No, wait there."
Yeah. I don't think the walk to the stadium's that bad. I think they just need something to feel, something to do whilst you're going towards the stadium. Because obviously, when back at Upton Park, you had all your stands, your sweet stands, and everything else like that. But it's just nothing walking there. It's nothing.
No. And there is a lot of scope to put things like that there.
Yes.
I mean, there's so much, and they did originally say that their plans, whether it was just what they thought the fans wanted to hear. But there was original plans, wasn't there, to put those sorts of things on the bridges?
Yeah, but I think they got put off. I think because they wanted to charge like obscene amounts of rent for there, which wouldn't make it viable.
No, but the actual stadium itself has improved a lot.
Yeah, I think visually on the TV, I think visually on the TV, the carrot carpet makes it look much better.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I think
that first game when it first went in, it made it, you could, the actual physical impact of it when you walked into the stadium and just saw it.
Yeah,
it was great.
It makes it look more like home. I think they need to change the seat colours. To be fair,
too many white ones.
Yeah, it makes it look like there's too many people not there.
Yeah.
If it was claret and blue, maybe it would make it not look like it's so empty at the end of the game.
I know. Huh?
Yeah, that's very visible on the TV. Just all those, the white seat backs, especially against City, where you're down, you're getting thumped, and people do start leaving early. It's very, very noticeable.
People left very early that game.
It tends to be every game that they leave early. To be honest, I think it's just they need to get back to the train station.
Yeah.
And night games are worse.
it hits 80 minutes, and it's just a steady stream. People leaving from then.
Yeah.
So what do you think of that move to the new stadium then? How's that changed your match day experience, if you will?
Oh, when we first originally said that we was moving, I was actually for it. I think as a progression of what they were saying that was going to happen, how it was going to look, the seats not being so far away, I originally thought, yeah, okay, I'm happy with this. I'm all right to move. And then after going to the first 6 or 7 games, it just didn't feel like what they promised. And then I was dead set against it. I wish I could have gone back, but I've sort of, since the claret carpet, I've softened up to it a little bit now. And I think also having a good winning mentality. Like last year at the stadium, we won quite a bit at home, helped, I think. And I think there is ways that they can improve it to make it better, I think. And we can't go back anyway, so.
No. Could you imagine? No, not at all.
Yeah.
I think bizarrely for me, my match day experience has probably improved since we've changed.
Is it really?
Because before, yeah, I mean the guy that I usually go with, we used to drive up to the ground and just park just round there behind Green Street Market. We could always get a parking space around there. So we'd literally just sort of walk from there to the ground, watch the game, walk back to the car, and go home. Now, because it's so much easier for us to go across on public transport, we just jump on the DLR and go across.
Because when I was back,
I was going to say I've had tickets to Gio's boat a couple of times. We've been down there before the game. That's been good fun. And then other times we just meet up with some friends and things inside the stadium. There's a gym bar there.
Oh, is there?
that we're quite acquainted with, and we buy gym by the pint. It's fantastic.
Oh, you'll have to tell me where that one is.
Yeah. Well, we go in. We go in the entrance by the shop, turnstile left. And, the gym bar's just round the back there on the lower level behind the.
Near the track.
Yeah.
Or down that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it used to be easier when I was in Kent. It used to be easier because I was from Ashford. There's a fast link. I used to be able to get from my flat in Kent to in the ground 40 minutes.
Sorry, in how long?
40 minutes. Yeah. And that was living in Kent. It used to take 20 minutes on the fast train, and it used to go. And it wasn't going into the tube station. It was going into the main line train station.
Yep.
Because I think it's harder to get back out of the tube station. It weren't too bad on the main line.
Right.
And then, like, for me, it weren't too bad because the back to Kent, the last trains were still like half past 12. I think they were 12:30, 1 o'clock. I think. So I was never really in a rush to get out. I've never left early for any game ever.
I did once.
One.
Yeah, when
Which one was that? Was it an important one?
Well, we were 3.
It wasn't at Huddersfield last year, was it?
Sorry,
it wasn't at Huddersfield last year.
It was.
Oh no.
Yeah, I kept getting these alerts on my phone, and I was like, "Oh, I don't believe this." And we were all sat on the DLR. Everybody's crowding around my phone because I found a stream. And we were watching it.
Yeah, because it was a 3 o'clock game, I think.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. But there were a lot of us on the train that had left early. So
yeah, there's a few people that come out and said that they left early.
But that's the only time I've ever done it.
Never again.
Never again. No. Oh, what an hour.
Yeah. I've learned from other people that I know. I've always learned never leave a game early.
Yeah. Who would have thought though?
Yeah, I know, yeah. We were playing awful in that game as well.
Oh, it was dog It was
couldn't even see a goal coming. Couldn't even see it coming.
No, that was the trouble. And
like,
we'd sat through a few turgid games as well.
Yeah.
You know, and that once people start leaving, especially if people around you start leaving, all of a sudden it can feel very sort of big and empty up there.
Yes.
If you get a few rows in front and a few rows behind and either side of you, and all of a sudden it's like there's big gaps everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was watching a game on my phone on the last season of the bowling, the Everton away game. I turned it off at 2-0. When we was 2-0 down to Everton, I turned it off. I couldn't watch it. I turned it off. They were down to 10 men. They missed a penalty, I think. I thought, I'll turn it off.
Yeah.
And then
it's the same thing, isn't it? Just think,
20 minutes later, when you look at your phone,
that doesn't happen to us too often, does it?
No.
Yeah, not then. We seem to recently under Pellegrini been coming back quite a couple of times. I think we was one of the best teams that come in from behind last year. I think we was.
There's goals in his team. Ever since he's been around, there's definitely goals in the team. You get that feeling that we can score. It's just how much effort are we putting in.
Yeah, I think it's always been West Ham with consistency, really.
Yeah,
we like to play. We like to play for 45 minutes. Yeah, we like to play for 45 minutes. I don't think they realise that the game's 90 minutes long.
So why is that? And why does it follow from one manager to the next at West Ham? I mean, it just doesn't seem to matter who's in there.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. It's always could be a mentality thing. I don't know. I think they think when we go to the lower teams, I think they think we should be turning them over, and that doesn't happen now in the Premier League because even the Championship, even the teams coming up in the Championship now are very strong, and they like to play attacking as well. Because about 5-10 years ago, people get promoted from the Championship, and they'll just sit back and play for 0-0, or get a counter attack 1-0, like a Big Sam or Steve Bruce or a David Moyes. But now with more foreign managers coming in, they teams just come up and play the same way and try to attack, like Norwich this year. They've lost 2, but they're still playing. They're still attacking every game. It's just what's going to happen next week when we play Norwich. I think it could be quite a high scoring game. I think it could be a high scoring game. It could be a high scoring game.
Could be.
We look good going forward. Yeah, we look good going forward, but we look leaky at the back.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think how would you play? If they go out wide and attack our fullbacks, I think that's where we'll have the problem.
Yeah, I think we're stuck in 2 different formations. I think the back would be a lot better if there was a back 3 with the wing backs of Fredericks and Masuaku. But the forward, you don't want to take away midfielder really, because of the forward line. So he tries to stick with a 4 at the back, but I don't think they're conventional left back and right backs. I think they're more wing backs.
Yeah.
Which is the problem that we're having at the moment, because we need a right and a left back. Yeah. Which I think Ben Johnson would be more suited to playing as a conventional right back rather than a wing back. But definitely. Is he going to get his? I think he might play on Tuesday. I think. I think he might get a chance Tuesday.
I hope so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Zabba might play Tuesday.
Well, yeah. To be fair, or they might put him on the left. Do you reckon they'll put him on the left?
I don't know. He might give Cresswell a chance to redeem himself Tuesday.
Yeah.
I think Cress might get the nod just to, get more people game time. But I don't know about Cresswell. I mean, we've everybody's talked about it. Both our fullbacks on either side, really. But Cresswell, he gets the ball into feet and he sticks his head down every time. And something happened to him when he got that injury where he can't go past the man anymore, and I don't know why.
I don't think he can cross no more either. I think something's happened to him. He can't cross.
It's a shame because he got an England call up, didn't he? Or he was in the squad.
Yes.
I mean,
he was. Yeah.
He was all right. And Masuaku he's the opposite, but the same at the same time. You know, he dawdles on the ball, he gets it into feet and takes a bit too long to make decisions. I got to say, I thought he had a pretty good game yesterday. One of the best that he's had in a West Ham shirt. But my problem with him, he looks so casual. You know, like he doesn't close tight when he closes the strikers down.
Yeah.
Do you think he was at fault for Watford's goal?
What's that?
Do you think he was at fault for Watford's goal?
I think both of them are ball watching a bit. I think with Ogbonna and Masuaku.
That's some of it. Yeah, they're not picking up who they should be, and
yeah, I think Balbuena needs to come back in there.
I had a discussion with a guy. Where are we this morning? Who felt that maybe Fabianski's positioning was wrong, which caused the goal. But I think if you go back and watched it, like we did this morning, me and my missus, we rewound it several times to see if we could see what he was saying about Fabianski's positioning, but we couldn't see it. All I could see was Masuaku just letting the guy breeze past him.
Yeah, I think Masuaku plays a lot better with I forgot his name, Balbuena next to him. A lot better. I think the stats as well. I think as a four, Fredericks, Balbuena, Diop, and Masuaku, they're actually not that bad, to be fair. I think they've got quite a good win percentage with the four of them, but he keeps chopping and changing it. You can't get no consistency with it.
So
he just needs to go with a back four and then keep it.
You go from the comments section. Is Ogbonna now going to be our number one centre back? I mean, he started the last two games, and
because he was saying
because he was saying a left footer and a right footer, didn't he?
Do you think it was that though? I don't know if it was that. I think you started him because that first game you're playing Glenn Murray, and you want somebody who's going to be physical and good in the air. I think that's why Ogbonna got the nod.
Yeah. He might want a right foot and a left footer, but if one's out of position all the time, it don't really matter what foot you kick with.
No, this is true. This is very true.
Yeah, I just want him to keep a back four and then just have some consistency and play them every game.
Yeah.
I think that would help us a lot. We'll concede less goals, and I think.
Yeah, that would definitely help us gel more, and they need to spend more time together. You know, we're only 3 games into the season, and even though they've played together before, getting that cohesion as a team and playing the way the manager wants us to play, which is, you know, passing out from the back and stuff like that, it's going to take some time.
Yeah, definitely.
So what do you think?
4 points from the first 3 games with Man City in there. We haven't started that badly, is what people are saying. I think.
You're happy with that, Stuart?
Yeah, happy. If you said Man City at home first game of season, then 2 away games, you'd take the 4 points. I think, even though Man City was a bit embarrassing, you don't want to lose 5-0. But you know you're always going to struggle to get anything from Man City. So,
what about
4 points from the next 2 games?
Would you have taken that?
Oh, definitely. It's because we haven't won a game since our first game at the London Stadium in August, have we?
Yes, yeah, that's correct.
So, and we've what, 6 seasons in a row now we've had one of the top 6 as our opening game.
Yeah.
So, like I was saying to Tim the other day, it's almost like we're being handicapped before the season even starts, because everybody else then has 38 games. You could argue that we have 37 games to our season, and we're starting on a -5 goal difference.
Yeah. I've looked at the last few years as well.
We've got struggle before we even start. So, yeah, I'm very happy with 4 points. I think.
Yeah.
If we can get a good result Tuesday, right, not Wednesday,
Tuesday, yeah, I believe it's Tuesday.
Yeah. If we can get a good result Tuesday, then everybody that will carry on the up that we've got now from yesterday, and then we could have it could be a great game on against Norwich, and the atmosphere could be good, which will then translate onto the pitch.
Yeah, I think Norwich could be quite key for morale and confidence. I think if we beat Norwich, I think the team will gain a lot of confidence from that. 7 points. You'll probably be around about 8th or 7th, 8th, 9th probably.
Yeah.
And I think it'll just be a big confidence boost because got a fairly decent run for the next 8 games.
Yeah, we're gonna have to shut Pookie up, aren't we? Who's the man to do the job there?
I don't think it's a bomber.
So Diop.
I'll go with Diop and Balbuena at the back, but I think Diop can do a job on him. I think.
Yeah. Do they play? Forgive me, I haven't watched a whole lot apart from the highlights of Norwich, but are they one up front or are they two up front? So is he playing on the right side or is he through the middle?
I think, to be fair, I haven't watched much Norwich, to be fair, either. I think it's one up front. I can't think of another striker. I can't think of another striker for them.
I watched a bit of their highlights. I didn't watch it all because, to be fair, I only ever watched West Ham on Match of the Day. But I watched a little bit. No, is that right?
Yeah.
I've just seen that. I didn't realise that.
Oh, spoiler alert, fellas! Yeah, Spurs lost today. It's fantastic.
Fantastic. So yeah, and I think from memory, I think from the little bit that I did see, I think Pookie was he was playing sort of up the middle and maybe a bit over to the left, from what I could see. I could be talking out my arse, but that's just a little bit of what I saw.
Who's the one that's got all the assists for them? Does he play just behind Pookie? Who scored yesterday? Scored the first goal yesterday, I think. I can't remember what his name is.
Yeah, I'd have to look it up. I don't know a lot about him, to be honest. I mean, I saw bits of that Liverpool game that they played, the first game. In fairness to them, they look pretty confident. They're knocking the ball around and they want to play football on the deck. So it will be an open game. If this Watford game is anything to go by, you're going to have two teams that play passing football. It could be, for the neutral, it'll be a good game to watch.
I think it'll be very open. Very open. I think. As both defences aren't playing too well and both teams like to attack. So I think it could be quite a high-scoring game, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Campbell was the other guy who scored the goal for Norwich.
Yeah, I think it's him. I think he's got a few assists for him as well, I think. I think he got 2 assists in the previous game. I don't know if he plays like how Lanzini does with Haller. I think he's more of a 3 behind the 1, I think.
Right.
There's another question from the chat there. So does an open game suit us better?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it does, to be fair. Open game. We just need to go with a bit more pace, I think. I think Anderson needs to play. And Antonio. How Antonio isn't starting, I don't know. Because Yarmolenko looks off the pace.
Yeah.
But fairness, he's probably Yarmolenko. I don't know if it's Yarmolenko trying to fit into the team or what. He's only probably played about 6 games for West Ham. So, but I think.
Yeah, I liked the second half when Antonio came on. And, we had some speed then down both flanks. I mean, Haller is something else, isn't he?
Yeah.
And
he's
Lanzini's getting back to his best. So I can see them two scoring quite a lot of goals between them.
I like that combination, I've got to say, with Antonio playing off of Haller. I mean, Haller's a player, you play it into his feet, you play it into his chest. You're not necessarily playing it in front of him or through the lines. Antonio, you can knock it in front of him. He's going to go after it. I mean, he's a wrecking ball yesterday.
Isn't
he? He was the one. He got that header in, come off the crossbar. That sets up the overhead from Haller. He changed the game. He had that diving header. He absolutely changed the game. He gave them something else to think about, and that stretched them, I think.
Yeah, I do like a front three of Allaire, Anderson, and Antonio. I think that'll work quite well. I think, and then with Lanzini in the middle behind them, probably.
What do you make of
And
Alain
then
yesterday?
you've got. I thought it was good. I thought he reminded me a little bit of a Zlatan, where I don't know why if it's because of the acrobatics or he's very strong, good at holding up, linking up very well. What I like as well is on the first goal, the penalty, the ball that he got to find Lanzini. I think it cut through about 5 players, I think, to find him.
And it
he's
was
very
left.
unselfish as well. He's not a striker that will shoot on sight.
Yeah.
He'll always try and find another player who's in a better position.
No, I like that as well. He held it up. He moved the ball to his left foot, and it was a left-footed pass over to Lanzini, which I got to say at the time, I'm screaming, shoot. I couldn't believe he didn't shoot, but we got the penalty out of it.
Yeah. I thought he messed it up for a bit, Lanzini. I thought he couldn't get it out of his feet. Then he seemed to go away from the goal, and then obviously he drew the foul in.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw a couple of opposition articles and stuff, people saying they thought he took a dive there and stuff. I didn't see it. I thought his thighs were blocked, and he took a hand in the face and all.
Yeah. It's a definite penalty.
The bloke left a trailing leg on him.
Yeah, he had a good game yesterday, Lanzini.
Yeah, that's what I say.
He's starting to show. He's starting to show a bit of what he used to be. I think for a couple of seasons he went a bit quiet after Payet left. I think, and then obviously last season he had his injury. But I think he's enjoying linking up with Allaire and Anderson.
You know what I liked? What I liked as well yesterday was both of Hallaire's goals. His attitude after he scored, he was very sort of, sort of bolshy, really. Like, look at me, I scored goals. I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah. It feels like we've got a proper striker, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. One who believes
for the first time in how many years?
Yeah,
exactly.
Ages, and it's not bargain basement, and it's not a loan. It's we bought him to come and score goals, and you get a feeling that's what he's going to
do. Yeah. Also, he's with a long contract now, which is what I like, to be fair, because if anyone wants to buy him now with Premier League experience, it's going to cost a lot to get him out.
Yeah. You think they risk him on Tuesday?
Yeah.
Yes, I think they are. I think they might play that at Jetty. I think on Tuesday. If Chicharito was Chicharito ill yesterday? Was he? I heard he was ill yesterday.
Yeah, I believe he was sick.
Yeah,
that's what I heard.
Yeah, I think Jetty might get a start. I think I'll prefer Allaire to play, but I think Jetty might get a nod. I'm surprised he hasn't come on yet. Jetty. Especially in the previous game, especially in the Brighton game, I thought when he brought on Sanchez, why he didn't bring on a Jetty when we was chasing the game, when we was chasing the winner, and he brings on Carlos Sanchez
for the point, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But I was reading something on one of the forums, I think, on one of the sites. There was a link through to one of the things that said that Sanchez is one of Pellegrini's favourites. He really rates him.
Oh, really?
He said something, didn't he? He said that he was going to be a very important player for us. I don't know if that's trying to get him psychologically right or the fans behind him. But
just give him a bit of confidence or something.
Yeah, he hasn't shown much. As it balls bounced off of him every time he's played.
But and also just he has only played a few games for West Ham, so we haven't probably seen the best of him. He's coming back from a long injury. Maybe he might surprise us this year.
Oh, hopefully. I hope he does. Because we definitely need the cover.
I like that comment you just put up from Kent Hammers. I totally agree, because that would just be typical West Ham, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Wimbledon, Need I say any more?
Yeah, I hope he goes. I really want him to go with a stronger side than he normally goes with in the cups. Maybe we have got quite a big squad now. We are leaving first team players out of squads now.
I think we
So,
need a striker that's going to score. I don't know whether that's Ajeti or Allaire. I mean, look at that Wimbledon game last year. That ended my if there was any kind of love affair with Chicharito. Was, you've got a world-class player, probably the best player this country's ever produced, and you can't. He was still on his ass more than he was on his feet, and he couldn't control a game against lower league opposition. I mean, we need somebody who's going to score goals. I think he's kind of dead at West Ham at this point.
Yeah, I think. And do you reckon he'll play Antonio up top against Newport?
I
think he's earned it. I think you have to.
I think he deserves a start.
But I think he may use it as getting Yarmo, more fitness.
Possibly, yeah, that could be a good shout.
I think he'll bully their defenders as well, Antonio.
Yeah, he's
one
unstoppable.
The one thing that I have noticed though since Pellegrini's come in, and that is don't try and second guess him.
Yeah, I don't think anyone can get his starting lineups every week.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I like Pellegrini, and Steve, you'd know better, and Stuart, you've been a long time supporter as well. I've kind of contended, and he's the most West Ham manager we've had since John Lyall, if you ask me.
Yeah, definitely. I think Pardew a little bit played attacking, but he had a very good first season, Pardew, and in it went a bit wrong in his second season, I think. Did we get relegated? Relegated under Pardew, is it, or was it just poor? I can't remember. Got to the cup final in 2006 under Pardew, and then the next season, I don't think it was that great. I think.
Was that when Curbs came in? Was it?
Yeah.
Or am I mixing my years up? But yeah, that cup final I remember distinctly.
Oh, I can remember that.
Where did you watch
probably
that?
The only first time I thought I might. I was at my dad's house, to be fair. Is the only time I've ever thought about that I was going to cry at football, and I've still never forgiven Steven Gerrard for that.
Yeah, that's the only cup final we've seen, really. I think our generation of West Ham supporters, unless you count the Intertoto Cup.
I was at that one. That's
really?
Against Mets, I think. Yeah, I was at that game. I was at the home game for that. We actually lost that home game. We lost the home game, and then I think we won away. So
yeah, it's been slim pickings, I guess, is what I'm saying. And that Liverpool Cup final was just, and I watched it with a Liverpool supporter as well over here in the States, and it was awful. It was just everything that could go wrong ended up going wrong, didn't it?
Yeah.
So close, hitting the post. Up 2-3 times, or were we up twice? Up 3 times. It was just
with Paul Konchesky's cross.
When I was going to say when Konchesky's goal went in,
yeah,
I was convinced our name was on it. I said, "That's it. We're going to win this."
As soon as it went to extra time, I knew we was going to lose it. As soon as it went to extra time, or when Steven Gerrard scored, I knew we was losing it.
It was like he kicked stuffing out of us, wasn't it?
Yeah,
with that bloody goal.
It was deflated. So deflated after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully, we'll get back to a final again this year.
God, I hope so.
How many changes do you think he'll make for Tuesday? Do you think he'll make a lot of changes, or keep quite strong against Newport?
What do you think, Steve?
I personally think he will make a bunch of changes.
Yeah, I do.
I would like him to only make maybe 2 or 3. Maybe rest a couple.
I can't see that.
Like Haller. Maybe give Declan Rice a rest. But I suspect he will wholesale changes.
Do you reckon Holland might get a game? they're on about him being quite close to making a
maybe.
debut. Holland, I think.
I fear that he'll even change the goalkeeper.
Oh, please don't. No.
Stick old Roberto
Did you see the
in
video?
there.
Did you see the video in a week? They put out a training clip of the whole team.
Yeah.
And it showed a shot that Roberto tried to save. He tripped over, landed on his knees and missed it. And they put that in the official West Ham video.
Serious.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. I'd rather play Dean Martin. That Martin bloke, I think. Is it Dean Martin? Or who's the other goalkeeper that we got? I'd rather play him.
Yeah, Alvin Martin's son, isn't it?
Yeah. Keep thinking it's Dean Martin, but is Dean
James?
I don't know.
Not too sure.
No.
It'll be interesting what they do. I could see him taking, putting Sanchez in to give him some time. I could see.
I hope he puts Noble in next to him, though. To be fair,
I think he needs Noble because I think Noble needs minutes coming back from injury. So I could see Noble starting. I think as long as he's in the team, at least telling people what to do, hopefully we should be all right.
Yeah, a bit of stability, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, and what a difference he made. What do you make of his comeback here, there, Stuart? Bring Noble into the team and suddenly we win a game. Coincidence?
It's like night and day with him in there. Some people slag him off, but he brings like a steel, like a heart, a West Ham passion to the midfield, and he just seems to organise everyone. Everyone knows Declan Rice can play off him a lot better. He's not so stranded with. Declan's not so stranded with him next to him. He just helps him out. Declan played better for the first time, I think, this season. Declan had a better game. And I think it brings more confidence within the midfield, I think, with him playing. Which is why we need another defensive mid. Why I would have liked to get another defensive midfielder, someone who can help Rice make tackles. Because when Rice is in there on his own, Wiltshire's afraid to make tackles for getting injured, I think. Anderson's not going to make too many tackles. Lanzini's not going to make too many tackles. But I think he just needs Noble in there to help him break down play, I think. And I think and passing forward as well, I think he's got a lot better at that. And it just sets the attack off.
What would the priority be in January then? Another defensive midfielder or fullback?
Oh, do you know what? I wouldn't buy anyone in January.
No.
If we didn't have to, no. If we're okay, if we're top half, I don't think we'd need to, because it's quite inflated in January. Yeah. I think. Yeah. I think what he done this year, he brought the priority of a striker. I'm not too sure. I think he brought Fornals just in case of a cover for Lanzini, I think. Or because he didn't know how Lanzini was going to work out. But I think he didn't buy a fullback or a defensive midfielder because I think he's trying to save his money for next year to get a better quality fullback. Because if you try and buy Masuaku now, how much is Masuaku going to cost? A Masuaku-like player is going to cost 8-10 million. But if he saves his money for next year and then buy a 15 to 20 million pound fullback, and there'll be an upgrade. If he bought a cheap fullback for this season, would it be much of an improvement for Masuaku and Fredericks?
The only thing perhaps we could hope for is another Huselos special.
Yeah, and then it's taking a punt, and I think the Huselos special could be that Cardozo might have a game on Tuesday, I think.
He might well do, yeah. Yeah, forgot about him.
Yeah, he might have a game. But I think they're trying to save their money for next year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you make of our transfers that we've had over the last 2 years, really? Is step forward or, as expected?
I think it's 10 steps forward, I think. It's more going on like the transfer policy, as in not buying older players. That's the main thing. Older players that are less transfer fee, but with more wages. I think our policy changed for the better, buying younger on less wages, so it gives them time to grow. So then you can increase their wages as they get better for the club, and then if they get better, the sell-on value gets better as well, and we might be able to. I wonder what the last 5 years, how many players we've actually sold for a profit. I think it'll be quite limited. I think there's only 2 players. I think 2 players selling for a profit. I think Payet was one of them, and I don't know who the other one was. I think there is one more, but there's not a lot of players that we sell for a profit. I think it's more looking long-term future. I think.
Yeah.
So we buy cheap, sell for more, and then reinvest that money. I think it's much better transfer business that we've done.
Yeah, I tend to agree. And you look at the numbers that were being banded about for Diop. I mean, that is, what were they talking, 60, 70 million for Diop?
Yeah.
Yeah. For one season as well.
That's incredible.
In the Premier League.
Yeah, that's incredible. So long may it continue.
Yeah.
I think, and I said it when I was on the show last week, we finally have a manager who players want to play for. I mean, we've never had a manager with this kind of track record of winning things before. You think that's important?
Yeah, definitely. Because I think it installs a winning mentality. I think someone who knows how to win, knows how to get it over the line. I think that's a massive step forward. And everyone says that how much of his wages is on £8-10 million a year. But since he's been here, or this summer more, how much has he saved on wages? He's probably saved his salary on wages.
That's a good point.
10 million.
I don't think anybody's really said that. That's a great point. He's almost paid for himself, and with one. If we ever did sell somebody like a Diop, he'd pay for himself for 8 years.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a better way to do our transfers. I think rather than if we had David Moyes, we'd have bought Danny Welbeck probably.
Yeah.
And also, he was linked when David Moyes is linked with Harry Arter. I think he's playing in the Championship now.
Mm-hmm.
So we've saved however much wages on our wage bill, and the squad is so much better. There's a lot better depth to our squad as well.
But would we still have the legend that is Jordan Hugill?
Who's banging him in for QPR? I think we could bring him back.
Isn't he? God.
Did you see that miss he had yesterday, though?
Yes, I saw it. Yeah.
But he scored 10 minutes later.
Yeah, it was worse than that Watford player's miss.
Yeah, it was, because he was in the middle of the goal.
Yeah, middle of the goal, 2 yards out, and hit it over the bar.
Yeah, if anybody ain't seen it, you got to look on Twitter for that one. That was amazing. So, Stuart, we're coming close to the end. Tim sent me the rapid fire questions, so
fantastic.
Yeah,
I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions here and let you answer freely. So, question 1: meat pie or apple pie?
Meat pie.
Any particular type of meat?
Beef and Stilton, to be fair. I do like that, beef and Stilton.
Beef and Stilton. That's aggressive.
Yeah. It's nice. It's strong but nice.
Fan, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Who is your?
I do like a bit of blue cheese.
Who is your? Well, cheese is God's gift, I think, to mankind. Yeah. And Stilton, you can't go wrong with that stuff. It's beautiful.
No.
Who's your favourite current West Ham player?
Current. Fabianski. I think Fabianski, being a background of a goalkeeper, I think when he first come to us, everyone was saying he's not even better than Adrian, but he's proven people wrong now. He's he's the first person on the team sheet, because you don't want to put the other one in, Roberto, do you?
Yeah, and it shows you how important.
I think, Fabianski is my favourite. Yeah.
Really, how important having a good goalkeeper is. And even
Yeah.
well, look at who we got rid of. I mean, I liked Adrian as much as the next fella, but he's hardly wrapping himself at glory at Liverpool at the minute, is he?
No, I thought he can't play out the back.
No.
It's just pulling him. He's just pulling him onto errors all the time. I think when we play Liverpool, just press. If he's still playing when we play him, we just got to press him, and he'll panic. He panics very, very quickly.
Yeah, I think you're right. Sorry, just letting the dogs out since she's whining. What player frustrates you the most out of the current squad?
Antonio. He's got so much pace, power, but he never gets a shot on target. I think.
Yeah,
it's frustrating.
He's an odd one.
It's more like he's so good because defenders don't know what he's going to do. Also, he doesn't know what he's going to do though. so it's a surprise element to both of them.
Yeah, you're dead on. He can take on 3 players, and you think he's through, and suddenly skies it into row Z.
And he'll end up in row Z.
Yeah. But then at the same time, he just pops up with some headers that are tight angles, and they go in. He's an anomaly. I don't know what to make of him, but he's effective. We know that.
Yeah.
So let's see. FA Cup or top 6 finish?
FA Cup. I think it's all day FA Cup. I think if it's top 4, it may be a bit different, but FA Cup, I think.
Steve, what answer do you have for that one?
I've always upset everybody with my answer to this one because I've always said top 6.
Ooh.
Have you seen us win a cup though?
Not live.
I've never seen us win a cup.
I remember. What was I, 13 years old?
Yeah.
Sitting on the floor in my lounge watching the FA Cup final when we beat Arsenal in 1980.
Yeah, I think it's got for my general. I think it'll be FA Cup every time. I think because we haven't seen us win an FA Cup.
I understand.
And
Tim made a good point as well. He's made it several times that perhaps we need to win a cup, whether it's FA Cup, League Cup, or whatever. But we need to win a cup for Mark Noble.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I'd love to see him raise the cup. I'd love to see it.
Yeah. So from a sentimental point of view,
that'll cement him in West Ham folklore. I think if we won a cup with Mark Noble.
Definitely.
What about West Ham do you love?
The family, to be fair, the whole family atmosphere.
And what?
Just going to games, being able to. You can go to a game on your own, meet people, and it's just the family atmosphere.
What about us do you hate?
What about us do I hate? Inconsistency. It's so frustrating because we beat 1 week we can beat Arsenal or Man United, and next week we'll lose to Norwich. Yeah, or Wimbledon, or Newport.
Yeah.
But hopefully not.
Could you imagine Tuesday night if we lose that? Oh my God.
Yeah, I know.
It would just be another in a long line of defeats we shouldn't have had, right? Was it Wrexham? Will always stick out to me. Dear God. Awful.
Yeah. I think they need to change the format for a bit for the Carabao Cup, because you could get to the semi-final, be one game. Well, not one game away. You could draw Man City, and you've got to try and beat them over 2 legs. Surely, would you put that to 1 leg? And then
I agree.
Then on your day you can beat anyone, but on your day you can't. You can't beat Man City over 2 legs. No. You've got more of a chance if it's 1 leg.
Yeah, there's not many teams that'll be able to do that. What sound makes you happy?
A last-minute winning goal, to be fair. There's nothing better than that. Nothing better than scoring last-minute goal.
Yep, absolutely. As we were saying earlier, we hadn't seen too many of those, but they seem to be on the up under the Pellegrini era. So long may it continue. What's your favourite
Yeah.
swear word?
See you next Tuesday. I can't say it out too loud because the little ones are out.
What team do you love to beat
that
the
one
most?
definitely. Tottenham,
Tottenham.
because Tottenham are see you next Tuesdays.
Have you always hated Tottenham?
Yes, yeah. I don't know if it's like with a background of the rest of my family being Arsenal as well, so it's a double hate of them. But Tottenham's always, it's the fans, to be fair. There's not a lot of decent Tottenham fans.
There's not. Even
No.
over here in the States, I got to say, most of the Tottenham fans I've met, their egos are a little inflated.
Yeah, they haven't won anything for how many years?
Oh, there's a great account on Twitter that is like how many days since Tottenham have won a trophy. That every single day they update the amount of days. It's beautiful.
It's like I think I've heard it before. They say that we think it's our cup final to them. Well, at least we win our cup finals.
Name a player, past or present, who epitomises West Ham.
Mark Noble. My generation, Mark Noble for the last 15 years. I think he gets the club. He's a hometown boy, and he's someone that you want when you're losing, or you want him as a manager. I think who knows the club and lives and breathes the club.
Yeah, can't disagree with that one. And then finally, if you could take a time machine back to experience anything to do with West Ham, where would you go?
Yeah, I think a lot of people would say FA Cup final in the last game at the Bowling, but I think just to be a bit different, I'd love to go. I was only 5 on my first ever game. I'd love to go relive my first game.
That's interesting.
Just to, because I've had to research a little bit of the game. I remember going to the game. I remember bits of the game, but I'd love to go back to just to watch my first game again with the atmosphere and everything. Go into the game, and that's what I'll go to.
Yeah, that's. Whoops! I put the wrong one up. That's a great answer. As Tim mentions there in the chat room. I think I'd love to go back to my first game in all, and even though we lost, it's that whole experience.
Who was that again? Who was that against?
Against Charlton, back when we used to ground share with them. So I think.
Oh, really?
I think that was our home game though. So I distinctly remember being in the West End, and coming in from Swindon, we have family in Hammersmith. We'd park up there and take the tube across London. So it's like it's the whole day. It's just all of it. The atmosphere, taking it in, your first walk up Green Street and everything, and just to revisit that and go back to Nathan's.
Yeah. I wish to go there now. I went there. Yeah. I've only ever been there once before. Once I went there, but obviously you can't go now.
I think if I could go back in time, I'd go back all the way back to, I can't even remember what year it was. I have looked it up. 1910 maybe. The White Horse final. I know we lost it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but when there was like about 1 million people at Wembley, all packed in, and not 1 million, but you know what
I mean. Yeah, over 100,000.
Yeah. And there's some very old black and white, grainy sort of movie tone, whatever it is, film of it. And it looked absolutely fantastic. Imagine what the atmosphere then would have been like.
Yeah. It's a different time, but
totally. All squeezed in.
Yeah.
Well, gents, I think we'll let's do a round of predictions for Tuesday, and then we'll wrap up from there. So, Steve, what do you think?
Tuesday, I think we will learn from our mistakes, and we will run out comfortable winners 4-0.
Optimist, I like it. Stuart.
Yeah. I was going to say I'm quite confident of Tuesday. I think I'll go 5-0. I think
5-0.
I think Not quite as good as Macclesfield last year, but I think we'll turn them over. I think.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think as long as we've got somebody on the pitch that can put goals in, one of the more senior members of the team, I'm hoping we can at least knock 3 past them. So, it's going to be interesting. And then Norwich coming up next weekend, that'll be interesting as well. I think that will be probably more heart attack football that we better get used to this season. So,
yeah.
Well, gents, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much both for your time. I'm going to end the broadcast now and come on, you Irons.
Thanks for having us. Come on, you Irons.